Hi, this is Cheryl of Majestic Wire Artworks. In this short little video, I want to show you how to make this special little heart head pin. I'm going to be doing a series of head pins, and I picked this one for Patreon because it is so special, and I really didn't want to share my technique with everybody. So this is truly a special little head pin, and I really believe that we should all have cute little head pins on hand in case we need to make a quick little project or present for somebody. For example, earrings like this, and pendant like this. Isn't that adorable? And I have more, and I'm going to be making some videos after this to share with Patreon only using these special head pins. But it's always good to have some extra ones on hand, and then you can do a quick little project to get you through a bind or whatever you need. Okay, so let's get started. So your supply list is very simple. I don't even think I need to write it in the description, but I will anyways. So we're going to start with like a 5¼ inch piece of 20 gauge copper wire, soft, and that will make a 4-inch head pin for you. And the first thing you got to do is start a coil. So we're going to start the center of the coil, which is I call the bud, and that's the trickiest part, I think. It's not focusing very well. There we go. Okay, so I'm working through the camera, so it's always a challenge for me. Okay, so you want a partial curl and crimp it down, and then crimp it back like this. You see how it bent there? And even a little bit more there. I still see a little hole, but that's okay. And then you grab it with your pliers and bend it, and you're going to slowly work around that to make a circular shape. I crimp it in a lot at this stage. Okay, so it's oval right now. I want it to be round, so I'm going to crimp it in this way. Why aren't you focusing? There we go. And it bent out on me, and that's okay. I'm just going to push it down like this. Oh, see, now it looks round. Okay, and I'm gonna, there we go. Now that's the way I want it. Okay, so I usually do it, see how the center is facing down, the beginning of the center there? I want to have it facing this way because it's going to face the outside of the heart. That's usually big enough. Just going to peek at this. Okay, so there it is. Okay, and then I'm going to take, and this, there is no measurement per se, and it's just going to take practice and experimenting. About that much. Grabbing my, how do I describe what I'm doing here? Okay, so I've got my chain nose pliers. I've decided to make the heart about that big. Okay, and now I'm using my thumb. Come on, focus, focus. To push it so it gets a nice sharp corner, And I want it to look like it's the center of the heart now. So you want this angled to be centered, just like a heart. You see that? And that's going to take practice too. But this is a very quick project and actually quite fun and easy to practice. And if you don't get it right the first time, then just try again. Now, the next step is you want to find the spot on your round nose pliers that has the same dimensions as that coil there, because we want both humps to be approximately the same size. And it, of course, because my hand's in the way, it doesn't want to focus. So I eyeball it so that and it's hard for me to show this on camera. And I gotta see if I'm actually doing it. It's too far down. Okay. I think that's about right. Okay. And the way you can tell is you're gonna wrap this around the round nose pliers. And see, it was a little bit bigger. So all I got to do now is just, when you push it in and it's tight, that's where you were. I want to go slide it a little bit smaller and then rebend it. And then I'm gonna cinch it up the heart just a little bit more. And I'm just gonna put my chain nose pliers there again and make it hit the corner and just squeeze it in a tiny bit. And how does that look now? Okay, so you see how it changed it a little bit? I think I pushed it in too far, so I'm now going to just take this with my round nose pliers and pull it out a smidge. Not much. Okay, let's take a look at that now. And once you've done one, and you sit down and do a bunch in a row, it gets easier with each one. So that looks good. It's a cute, tiny little heart. I'm going to pull my ruler out and just show you how tiny it really, really is. It's 1/4 of an inch wide. And for those that do metric, it's about 7 millimeters wide. So it's really tiny. Now you're looking at it. How is that going to turn into a head pin? So this is where some of the magic is. You flip it around. Okay. And I grab the wire with the tip. It's moving on me. The tip of my round nose pliers. And I'm going to loop it around the tip. And I'm going to do it more than that. It's just awkward for me in front of the camera. And push it up this way. Okay. So that is kind of hidden behind the coil. Okay. And I actually want it to be further down than that. So I'm just going to bend it down a little bit more. Okay, so now you're going, well, it's still not looking quite right. I'm going to crimp that in a little bit. That's the first time I've ever had that happen to me. It normally doesn't do that. But it's good for it to go wrong on the video. Okay, so the next step is to grab this and bend it straight up. In the center. So that's the trick, is to get it straight up in the center. And then I always make it straight, the wire straight with my pliers. Work hard on it a tiny bit right next to the heart. Okay, and then I want one more step. I want to crimp this loop closed. It is pretty close, but usually it's not. Okay, and there, it's done. So sometimes it's still not straight. If it's not straight, then that's when you just need to straighten it as best you can. And there you go. And you can make a whole bunch ahead of time. Try to be consistent with your size. And I'm pretty consistent. This one's far from perfect because I'm doing it behind the camera. But like I said, once you get going on it and you practice it, you're going to get better and better and better. And faster. I remember the first one I made. I can't remember how long it took me, but now, well, you saw how quick this was. Okay, so that's what it looks like at the back, and that's what it looks like at the front. Okay, well, thank you for joining me, and I hope you use this tutorial, and have a good day. And I'm being awkward now. I haven't done a video in a couple weeks, and God bless, and talk to you soon. Bye.